If you've ever wondered if the Catholic Church truly traces its roots back to the apostles themselves, then you need to know about St. Clement of Rome. St. Clement was the fourth pope, the bishop of Rome after Peter, Linus, and Anacletus, and he personally knew Peter and Paul. Clement served as bishop of Rome between the years 88 and 99 AD, meaning he led the church while some of the apostles' students were still alive. Early church historian Eusebius records that Clement had seen the blessed apostles and conversed with them. Saint Irenaeus calls Clement a man who still had the preaching of the apostles ringing in his ears. There's no question. Clement is a bridge between the apostolic church and the next generation. Around the year 96 AD, the church in Corinth fell into serious division. You might remember that Corinth had already been a troubled church during Paul's lifetime. Clement wrote a letter to the Corinthians that is still preserved today, called simply First Clement. And this letter is absolutely explosive in what it shows us about the early church. First, Clement teaches the importance of apostolic succession. He writes, quote, "The apostles appointed bishops and deacons, and afterwards gave instructions that when these should fall asleep, other approved men should succeed them." Clement makes it clear, the leaders of the church are not chosen by popular vote or personal preference. They are chosen according to a divine succession coming from the apostles themselves. Clement shows the authority of the Bishop of Rome even outside his own city. Think about it. Corinth is hundreds of miles away from Rome, across the sea, and yet the Roman Church writes to correct their internal affairs. And the Corinthians listened. There was no sense that each church does its own thing. Already by 96 AD, the Bishop of Rome was seen as a moral and spiritual authority for the wider church. He writes, "Let us reverence the Lord Jesus Christ, whose blood was given for us. Let us esteem those who have been appointed over us. Let us honor the presbyters among us." The idea that the church is a visible, hierarchical body, not just an invisible collection of believers, is already fully developed in Clement's time. As for Clement's death, he was martyred under the Emperor Trajan. Because he continued to lead Christians and refused to offer sacrifice to Roman gods, he was sentenced to death. He was tied to an anchor and thrown into the sea. A brutal execution meant to silence him forever. But it didn't. His memory lived on, and the church he helped guide only grew stronger. Clement's life reminds us that the early church was Catholic, in structure, in belief, and in spirit. The men who knew the apostles believed in apostolic succession. They believed in the authority of the bishop. They believed in a visible church founded by Christ himself. And today, 2,000 years later, we still honor that same faith he passed down to us.